Turn the music up at my headphones. Stocks 101. I'm just kidding, guys. You know I don't rap. Let's get to this video. Hey, I'm Jess and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified on my next videos. So I've been getting a ton of questions from my subscribers on whether or not it's a good time to invest in the stock market, where to buy stocks, how to buy stocks, etc., etc. So in this video, I'll go in depth as possible, covering some basic terms, different investment strategies, especially ones that are good for beginners, different ways to reach your stocks, as well as different brokers you can use. Also, I'll show you how to open an M1 Finance account, which is one of my favorite stockbrokers, how to navigate through their website, and I'll show you 3 stocks that I'll be invested in today. First things first, what is the stock market, right? You hear people and financial analysts saying the stock market is up, the stock market is down. And what they actually mean is that the major index, which can be like the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, is up or down. The S&P 500 measures the stock performance of the 500 largest companies within the stock exchange. Stock market is just a general term meaning a place where buyers and sellers go to buy and sell stocks, bonds, and different financial instruments. In America, most transactions are on the New York Stock Exchange, which is the largest exchange in the entire world. But there's also different exchanges such as the NASDAQ, the OTC market, also the pink sheets, but we don't really use the pink sheets or the OTC markets. Those are usually companies that are delisted and companies that are not doing very well. Now, what is a stock or a share of a company? In the most simple definition, a stock or a share is a fractional ownership of a company. When you buy a stock, you become a stockholder or a shareholder in the company you invested in. As a fractional owner of the company you invested in, let's say Amazon, you can now listen in on shareholder meeting calls, and also you can vote on different corporate matters such as electing who's going to become on the board of directors. Now, this doesn't mean that you're hanging out at Jeff Bezos' $165 million house, sipping tea, eating crumpets as you discuss the company's future plans, but you do have some voting power to help influence the company's decision. Why would someone buy a stock, right? Like, what are the benefits of investing in a company and becoming a shareholder? Firstly, a stock is an investment. The main reason that people own stocks is to get a return on that investment. So this comes in 2 parts. The first part is that you buy a stock with the idea that that stock price is going to go higher or appreciate, and you sell it for a profit. The second reason is that certain companies pay out dividends to their stockholders. A dividend is a portion of the company's earnings that's paid back to their share or stockholders, and I'll get more into dividends a little bit later in this video. So you know what stocks are and you know what the stock market is. Now you're wondering, how do you go about actually buying stocks? So there's a ton of different ways that you can go about investing in stocks, whether you're on your laptop or you're on your cell phone. So there's a few different apps and stockbrokers you can use, such as Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, Vanguard, who I personally use for my Roth IRA account, which is my retirement account, Cash App. And I know Cash App is not the greatest stock investing app to use to buy stocks, but it does serve its purposes sometimes. For instance, back in March, I wanted to invest in Tesla and I didn't have any money in my Robinhood account or my Webull account or any of my other accounts, but I did have some money in Cash App, and I took that, which is $450, which you can see on the screen. I bought Tesla at a pretty great price, and so far I've gained $215, which is about 47%, 48%. So if I didn't have any money on Cash App, I would have missed out on this opportunity to get 48% on my money. Another app I like to use is Webull. That's probably one of my top 5 favorite apps to use at this moment. They give great research on stocks, and they'll give you 2 free stocks if you sign up with my link down below. One of those stocks can be valued up to $1,400. Last but not least, M1 Finance. This is one of the newer apps I've been using for like the past couple of months. Definitely liking it. I feel like this is one of the better apps for beginner investors. It offers so many features such as fractional shares. Also, there's no fees on trading or commissions, so you definitely save a lot of money when you buy and sell stocks. And I'll put the link down below. If you use my link, you'll get $10 in your account when you sign up. Also, this is the app that I'll be using to show you how to research stocks, how to buy stocks, and the 3 stocks that I'll be purchasing. So let's just jump right in. All right, so M1 Finance. You sign up for an account, right? You have to use my link. You have to use the link if you want the free $10. You sign up for an account, you put in all your information, and then you should eventually get to a page that looks like this after you open an individual investing account, right? So let's navigate through this site a little bit. So what you're gonna do is that you can view other people's pies. So say you want to plan an investing account for retiring, right? Click view pies, and there's a whole bunch of different pies that you can choose from. And the pies are pretty much based on the years you want to retire. So say you want to retire in 2050, and you want a more aggressive retirement plan, right? Let me just go back quickly. So 2050 aggressive. You can check on there. This is the risk factor over here on the right. So this is a medium risk. In the past 5 years, it's had 16.04%. And it has a dividend yield of 2.763%. All right, let's take a look. So I'll show you a little bit about this. Read the description. It has a 0.08 expense ratio. So you're going to be paying 0.08% every year if you decide to use this entire entire pie for your investment, right? Next, you see the slices. So this is what they have in theirs. They have 27% in this Vanguard Developed Markets ETF. An ETF is an exchange traded fund. So it's a basket of securities. So say you don't want to invest in just one. Say you can click it to see. Let's see. Nope. So they don't have the exact ones. But basically, it's a basket of securities depending on what sector you want to be in or what market you want to be in. They also have it, so the Vanguard S&P 500, which I was talking about earlier. So these are the 500 largest companies on the stock exchange. You can also, you can view pies based on hedge fund managers, right? So say you wanted to replicate your pie to look like Berkshire Hathaway's, which is Warren Buffett's. Click it, you see what type of slices he have and the percentage holdings. So mostly Apple, have some bank stocks in there, Coca-Cola. Everyone know that Warren Buffett did very, very well on Coca-Cola. So you can see that. Feel free to check it out. 0% expense ratio. That's because they're all stocks. You're not investing in an ETF or a mutual fund where someone is actually managing the fund and they're like selling stocks and adding stocks. So you don't have any expense ratio. You don't have to essentially pay anyone to look over your holding positions and your stocks and buying and selling your stocks. All right. Let's go back. You can check out other strategies as well. If you're big into the cannabis industry, there is a cannabis pie. Risk high. Past 5 years, they're down 63%. Not my favorite industry, but hey, up to you. It's your investment account, so you can feel free to invest in whatever you would like. But for me right now, I'm going to go ahead and buy 3 stocks that I've been looking over for the past couple of weeks. I think it's a good time to invest in these 3 stocks. So let me just go back. No, let's exit this. Go back to this page. So you can also browse different stocks. Hit this button right here. There's actually only 11 different sectors, but they break some of them down to the left. So the first stock I'm going to be investing in is Visa. Ticket symbol V. So we're here at Visa. They tell you the price, which is $193.86. Let's take a look. So before I even invest in Visa, I like to look up each and every company that I invest in. So let's go to Yahoo Finance, and go to the Visa tab, which I have open already. So this is how I basically go over basic. This is what I do before I even invest in anything, any stock. So I look over the summary. Well, the first thing I look over is the profile, right? What is this stock? What is Visa, right? So you read the description. Visa Incorporations operates as a payments technology company worldwide. I mean, I already know about Visa, so I don't really have to read into this too much. But if you're invested in the stock for the first time, you should definitely read the description, get familiar with the company that you want to invest in. You should never invest in a company you don't know or you don't understand, right? So Visa looks good to me. Sometimes I like to look up the CEO, Google them, see their past businesses or past companies that there were executives in, and see how those companies did, right? So after that, I like to go over just the summary page. Gives me some information. I mean, the market's closed right now. And it opens back at 9:30 a.m. So there's not going to be anything going on here, but usually, bid is the price that you're willing to buy the stock at, and ask is the price that someone is selling the stock at. That's just some basic terminology there. And then also on this page, you can see recent news or press releases about the stock that you want to invest in. So before you buy the stock, you should definitely read some news articles, get familiar with what other people are thinking about the stock as well. Also on this right page, the right side of this page, you can check out earnings, see if they beat earnings every quarter. For the most part, they put out their earnings report every quarter. So they met it, they beat it, they beat it. Looks good to me. The next thing I like to check out is their financials, which is this tab here. So I like investing in companies that are growing every year, right? So their revenue is increasing every year. 2017, 18 million. 2018, 20 million. 2019, 22 million. So I like to see a company's growing, right? And I also like to look at their net income, and I like to see that that's growing as well. This is like the basic things I do before I go ahead and buy the stock or invest in the stock. The last thing I like to do is, well, not the last thing, but one of the last things I like to do is I like to go to this holders tab, and this will give you the information and breakdown on which institutions are invested in this stock, and also the insiders, which is like the executives and other people of that nature. So large position by Vanguard. I like Vanguard. I personally use them, as I said before, for my retirement account. And I like to look at insider transactions as well, just to see if the insiders are holding their positions or they're selling a lot of their positions. If I see that they're selling a lot of their positions, I kind of look at that as something that might be bad, because why would someone who's in the company sell? Well, why would someone who's in the company basically sell a lot of their positions? So I like to see that more insiders are purchasing shares rather than selling shares. And then you can look at transaction reports in the past 2 years, which all checks out to me. And then you can also look at, that's pretty much what I look at. I also like to go back to the summary page. This is more like technical analysis, but I like to see that the stock is increasing every year, which is good for me. And also, if you see this, I remember I told you guys that I was going to talk about dividends. So with the dividends, some companies pay out dividends. This specific company, Visa, does pay out dividends, and they pay it out quarterly. This ex-dividend date is basically the date that you have to own the stock so that you can get your dividend payment on the next payday. So I don't own the stock. Obviously, it's May 21st. I don't own the stock so before May 13th, so I'm not gonna get the payday. So I'll have to wait until the next payday, assuming that I still own this stock, right? And then this number 1.2, that just means that they pay out $1.20 every year. and they pay it out quarterly, so it's 30 cents every quarter. Next, what else I like to look at? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the basics of what I like to look at. So we go back to the M1 Finance tab, click add to basket, click add. So I'm actually going to invest in 3 different stocks. The second one I'm going to invest in is, let's just click this add tab again, is going to be ticker symbol O. Realty Income Corporation. I mean, I'm a real estate agent. I like to diversify my portfolio and have some real estate stocks inside of it. So ticker symbol O, it's a great dividend income stock. So I feel like it's at a pretty good price. Their dividend yield is 5.21%. With a lot of dividend stocks, I like to look for their dividend yield to be between 4 and 6%. So this clears out. You become familiar with the company. What is it, right? Before I do that, we can also go to their, which I have a tab open already. So it's their investors page. So you can check out, before you invest in a company, check out their investor relations page on their website, just to get familiarized with what the company is. They give you some information here. You can also read things like their balance sheets and stuff like that. And I also like to check out, especially since this is a real estate investment company, I like to check out their portfolio. So let's see, top 20 tenants as of March 31st, 2020. I know that with COVID right now, a lot of commercial real estate is going down, or a lot of people are not able to pay their rent, but a lot of their companies, well, a lot of their tenants are open. I would say 7-Eleven, they're pretty much open. They're an essential business. I mean, AMC theaters, that might not be open, but that's fine because it's not a large percentage of their tenants. And I do feel like with AMC, they'll eventually open back up with more strict guidelines, I would say. So yeah, that's a good one to buy for me. Let's add that to the basket, click add. And then right here, so let's just put 1% now. I want to add the third one, which is going to be ticket symbol KDP, which is Keurig Dr. Pepper. I'm sure you guys know Dr. Pepper. You might know Keurig or not. It's a coffee-based company. They did a merger, so it's Keurig Dr. Pepper now. I think that was back in 2018. I'm not really too fond of their dividend yield, but I do think that they have a great growth percentage based on the research that I did. So let's add that to the basket. So right now I'm just gonna have 3 stocks in my basket. So this is where you can kind of play around with it. You can do different percentages of what you'd like to invest in. So for right now, I'm gonna put, let's see, Visa. I was planning on doing 40% Visa, 30% Realty Income, and 30% Keurig Dr. Pepper. So my investment strategy for the most part is a buy and hold strategy. I'm not looking to buy today and sell tomorrow. That's why I'm not using a lot of technical analysis. For the most part, I like to buy now. I feel like if it's at a great price, or I see it, something like, Realty Income, great price and also good dividends. So I'm gonna name this pie. Let's see, not my portfolio. We're gonna name this long. What's going on here? Pie name, description. All right, that's not working. That's fine. We're just gonna save this. I'll rename it later. Click save. So this is gonna be my pie, and I'll also share this pie with you guys so that you can see the growth of my pie. So I'll put the link in the description for that below. So now we have to make an initial deposit. I'm going to do a deposit of $1,000. I already have my account link, so that's fine. Next business day, that's fine. Confirm, that's fine. All right, great. Click done. So that is going to become effective right here. So that's going to probably, with M1 Finance, they usually do the buy position the next business day, and they usually do it around 10 a.m. That's fine with me. Yep, 10 a.m. morning. Sounds good. Also, I'm going to auto invest, right? So I like to also use a strategy called dollar cost averaging. So for the most part, I never try to time the market. No one can really time the market. So I like to just put in money every week or every so often into my positions. That way, say I buy a stock at, I invest in a stock at, and the price is $100 and it goes down to $80. Instead of selling the stock, I'll just buy more shares. So that way my average cost can go down pretty much. So I'm going to I'll do $100. Let's update this. Auto invest $100. Let's see. Updated. Make initial deposit. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. So I actually think pending transactions. Let's go to view details. All right. So I actually have to wait until the initial deposit goes into the account. And then once that goes into the account, then I can go back in there and say I want to invest $100 every, I'll probably do like every Thursday. I like a Thursday. I'll do every $100 every Thursday. And the way they'll break up that $100 is they'll try to keep my portfolio um, based on these targets. So I want to keep it 40% Visa and 30% at Realty Income and 30% at KDP. So like say like Visa goes up and it's more overweight. So say it's like 43% of my pie. They'll allocate the $100, a portion of the $100 towards KDP and Realty Income. That way it keeps the pie and like it keeps the pie in a good weight average. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and share this pie as soon as it's up, and then there's other things you can do. You can rebalance it yourself. So say you want to switch this to 33% Visa and 33% KDP and 33% Realty Income. You can go ahead and do that as well. Other things with this app, I would say, let's see, research. So they have a good research tab. Give you up-to-date information on what's going on in the market. Give you up-to-date information on the SPY, which is S&P 500, and the Dow Jones, which is another major market index. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so to highlight a few points about M1 Finance, they offer no trade-in or commission fees. So that's going to save you a lot of money when you're buying and selling different stocks. Another great thing is that they have fractional shares. So say you want a stock, but their price is a little bit too high for you. Say you only have $100 and the stock is $400. Instead of saving up to get the $400, you can just invest in the stock now with the $100, and then you'll be a fractional owner of one share of that stock. So for that example, you'll have 25% fractional ownership of that one stock. Another great thing is that they'll rebalance your portfolio pie. So say you have 40%, in my case, 40% in Visa, 30% in O, which is Realty Income, and the other 30% in KDP. Instead of having, say as the market increases or decreases and your positions become unbalanced, they'll rebalance your portfolio for you as you put more money into your account. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share this video with anyone you think might be interested in investing in the stock market, especially as a beginner. Comment down below with some stocks that you're thinking of investing in. Don't forget to like this video. And with that being said, I'm out.
So I thought I needed